Welcome to another video, guys. Today I'm going to be telling you about US universities, top US universities which are waiving off up to 100% of your tuition when you go ahead for your study abroad journey. Now please note, I've already made a video on this before, so do not think that this is the exact same content. I've figured out 5 new universities. Alright, these are again new universities that you can apply to, so that basically you're getting a total of 10, right? So make sure that you watch this carefully because a lot of these apply to you, and you can actually make sure that you make your study abroad journey easier for yourself and your parents as well. Right? So let's get started. But before we do, the one thing that I want you to think about is that one thing that kind of binds us together on this channel is that most of us want to go ahead for this study abroad journey. And if you are going for study abroad in any country of your choice for the most part, I recommend you take a look at the TOEFL test. Many universities like Stanford, for instance, would not accept any other test for your English language except for the TOEFL, for instance, right? So I would say that TOEFL is a little bit more widely accepted as compared to many other tests, especially in the US, that is. But it's also accepted by universities in many other countries. In fact, the number is close to 90% universities across the globe in countries like the US, UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and even more. And just in case you want to figure it out, a list of universities accepting the TOEFL is available in my description, so make sure that you check out that link. By the way, you can take up the TOEFL from the comfort of your home, and this test also helps get your visa accepted a little bit easier, alright, if you've taken the test. Okay, and of course, the one thing I want to talk to you about is I personally ended up scoring 119 out of 120 on the TOEFL. For those of you guys who already know it, the videos on exactly how you can follow these same strategies, all of those strategies, all of that data, all of the study material, everything that I followed, all of that is available on this channel right here. So make sure that you check out the playlist. And just in case you are taking the TOEFL, you can take a look at the link in my description. Use the code YASH20. And when you use this code, you will get a $20 off on your TOEFL test, which is basically almost as good as a 1500 rupees off. So I hope that's something that you'd like to think about. So if you're interested, make sure that you check them out. Let's talk about the scholarship options that you have offering up to 100% scholarships now. The first I want to talk about is NYU. Brilliant university, amazing school, amazing location, amazing job opportunities. And with that, what you are getting is scholarships for graduate and undergraduate students both. That's a massive advantage, guys. Remember, these are merit-based scholarships and there's no separate application required. That means with your application to the school itself, they'll consider you for the scholarship. In fact, about 40% of the students, that's 4 in every 10 students who apply, get a scholarship from NYU, which is a major deal, guys. If you know how admissions work, many universities don't even offer scholarships to even 10% of the students. 40% is a big number. And there are multiple scholarships available. Remember, everything that I'm telling you over here has proof and links attached in the description. So this one is for NYU. Now this is for the Wagner School. Of course, you can check it out for your school as well. There's scholarships available for almost students for every school, right? But really, all of this information can be verified over here. You see the 40% information over here, right? You see that they are offering merit-based scholarships. It's mentioned right over here. There's multiple kinds of scholarships available that you can actually apply for, all right? Many of them come with a stipend, many of them come with tuition waivers, etc., right? So it depends on exactly which kind of scholarship you are basically eligible for, but for the most part, no separate application is needed, and they'll figure it out for you and they'll automatically give you the scholarship. Now you may say, hey Yash, we don't really believe that, we don't really know if they will automatically give it to us. Do we not have to do any research, apply separately, or mention it in our application? The answer is no, and I have proof for that. In fact, many of the students who even applied with us and students who have registered their admissions on YMGrad.com, you can actually take a look at that. You can verify it. So any university I'm telling you about, feel free to verify it over here. All you have to do is go onto YMGrad.com, go into the resources and then decisions, type over here the university name. I'll type in NYU, and of course, as soon as you do, it will search for that university, and you can see, I would say somewhere around 4 out of every 10 students would be getting a scholarship. You can see fundings right over here are mentioned for every admit that you see, right? Either the student has gotten some funding or they have not, right? And either way, both the cases, they are mentioned over here. So I would say somewhere around 4 out of 10 students are actually getting this scholarship, which makes me believe that whatever they have mentioned on their website is somewhat true. And based on my personal experience as well, I've seen that NYU offers great scholarships. Somewhere around $9,000 this year was the average in the last, I would say, right? If you can see on the website. Of course, feel free to browse through and take a look at their profiles, etc., resumes, and well, you will have more information coming in, of course. Let's move on to the next university, and that is the University of Oregon. It's a decent university. Location is not something I'm a really big fan of, I would say, but at the same point in time, the reputation that University of Oregon has is, of course, pretty good actually. All right, so this one, however, is for both graduate and undergraduate students again. All right, you do not need to worry about that bit. I've verified it. Okay, again, it's merit-based scholarships and international students are eligible. All of these scholarships that I'm talking about, international students are always eligible. I've verified that. Again, no separate application is required. You only have to apply to the school. That's about it. And several scholarships are offered within the academic year. You can actually take a look at some of those scholarships over here. There's one of this, UO Excellence, one Summit Scholarship, one Apex. And all of these have separate requirements, of course. This is the basis for the award, and you can go much more in depth if you actually take a look at the whole page. There's a lot of different details about country-wise also, what kind of awards are given out, right? What kind of country-wise scholarships are there as well. But at the same point in time, right, the ones that are given out by automatic consideration, well, these are over here, right over here, mentioned over here. And all you have to do is you have to apply before January 15th, which is very, very important. For the fall term, I'm saying, fall term, you have to apply before Jan 15th, which should be very easy if you start your application right now. Let's talk about the next one, the University of Michigan at Dearborn. Again, one of the most, I would say, popular names amongst Indian students and a lot of students in Asia as well. So UMich, of course, has another popular campus, Ann Arbor. I'm not really talking about that one over here, of course. I haven't actually taken a look at that website right now, but you can actually do the research for that one. For the Dearborn one though, you can see that the International Student Scholarship link is included. This is the undergraduate link, but don't worry, we have scholarships for both undergrads and graduates. I have a separate link for that just coming up in a moment. Remember, these are merit-based scholarships, no separate application required. You just have to submit your application to these. And as you can see over here, undergraduate scholarships are awarded at an annual scholarship of $10,000, which is a pretty huge amount, guys. Requirements are right over here. You should be an international student. Like I said, I'm only giving you information that is valid for international students. Your GPA should be 3.0 on a 4.0 scale. You can of course get it converted through WES or any other organization. You should be a full-time degree-seeking student at UMich Dearborn, and of course this scholarship is also renewable. That means you can get it again and again and again in the second year, third year, fourth year as well, if you have a cumulative GPA of 3.0. So that's a major deal, guys. You're getting a major deal, major scholarship at a great school, great location, great reputation. I would definitely go for it. This is for undergrads, by the way. For graduate students also, we have a lot of options over here. Non-resident graduate scholarship is the main one, I would say, over here. Of course, they have more options that you can look through, and some of those you may be eligible for as well. But graduates, you have to have, of course, you have to be a graduate student who is a non-resident. That means you should be an international student, all right? And apart from that, this provides up to 80% of the difference amount between the in-state and the out-of-state tuition, all right? Up to 80% of that tuition waiver, basically. So basically, in-state and out-of-state tuition, they're almost, double. Like the out-of-state is double of the in-state one. So you're basically having to pay not much extra on top of that, on top of the in-state, if you actually get this scholarship. All right, 80% of that the difference will be waived off, essentially. All right, so again, I would say a great offer for graduate students. If you are going for it, definitely consider UMich Dearborn in your shortlist. Let's talk about the next one, and that is University of Maryland, Baltimore County, right over here. And the details of that, I wanna share the details of that. Of course, this is also eligible for undergrads and graduate students, but for the graduate students, right, they're giving out funding via assistantships, graduate assistantship, teaching assistantship, research assistantship. Those are a little bit harder to get in the very first semester. Before you land, especially in the US, it's a little bit harder to get. So I'm going to focus more, for this university specifically, I'm going to focus more on the undergraduate international students, because, you would say that, look, assistantships, that's something that we can expect at almost every university, right? So there's nothing special about that. So undergrads, you guys have something special over here. This is a merit-based scholarship again, like I used to mention, based on your merit, your grades, your GPA in the past. It will be awarded to you. No separate application is required, and this covers up to 50% of your tuition. Right over here, it's mentioned, right over here. And you do not have to actually worry about applying for it separately or sending any separate essays. All right, remember, this scholarship is renewable. That means if you actually end up scoring well again and again and again over the years, they will keep on offering more and more scholarship, of course, right? That means the same amount will be offered to you next year as well, right? If they waive off 50% of your tuition, next year also you can expect them to waive off 50% again if your grades are good. Okay. Finally, I want to talk to you about the Texas A&M University. Now, this is not really about this particular university. This is about the Texas scholarships. And this thing I covered in my last video as well. But this one over here, again, I want to give you this information simply because it is something that you should not miss out on. Okay. Remember, Texas A&M is in Texas, of course. So that's why I've chosen this page, and they have beautifully laid out the rules. But this scholarship is valid on almost every university that you can go to in the state of Texas. Right, so state of Texas is the one in focus over here. Remember, if you're an undergraduate student, you should receive at least a $4,000 scholarship directly from the school first off to be eligible for this rule. Okay, this is just the eligibility criteria. You have to have at least $4,000 from the school that you're going to. And for graduates, it's a little bit easier. You have to have at least $1,000 per academic year. Right? If you can attain just this much of scholarship based on your grades, your performance, your application quality, which again, if your quality of application is good, you can expect to actually get that, right? In that case, if you actually get this scholarship, they will waive off your tuition from out of state to in state. And let me actually show you the difference. If you actually just Google directly, right? I'm not even talking about a specific course over here, specific, engineering or MBA course or anything of that sort. Just look at the TAMU tuition. This is the in-state one, somewhere around 13,000 US dollars. And this is the one where you basically pay, which you basically pay if you're an international student, somewhere around $40,000. 13,000, 40,000. You can see it's actually more than double in most cases, right? Sometimes even triple. Now, of course, this data, again, this changes from program to program, school to school in Texas. But for the most part, this ratio is somewhere around double. If the in-state is X, then the out-of-state is 2X. That means that you have to just pay X. You don't have to pay 2X if you are getting just this $1,000 of scholarship for graduates or $4,000 of scholarship for undergraduates. This is the major rule that the state of Texas has enacted, and I would say that you should definitely think about taking advantage of this. All right, and again, there's a lot more where that came from. Again, we know which universities offer the maximum scholarships, etc., etc. So just in case you have stuck around till now and you need help understanding which universities would be offering you the best admits and scholarships, we can actually find those out for you, and you can take a look at the profile evaluation and university shortlisting part of our website, wherein we will be able to actually create a shortlist for you just like this on an Excel sheet, right? But you'll actually be able to understand which universities are prone to offering you the best possible admits and scholarships, so that you're not wasting time applying to the wrong universities, wasting your time in both applications, and also wasting your money in applying to the wrong universities. Both of these can be avoided just by making sure that you are applying to the right universities, and we can actually do that for your profile. Just in case you're interested, you can take a look at this page, or the link will again be in my description. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a long one, but I assure you, you have gained some really good insights out of this, and you should be able to actually go ahead and materialize these in your applications. There's more information like this on our Instagram page, just in case you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care for now.